welcome to this video. In this video, I want to give you some overview of what a transfer table is, why it's important, and how you might go about making your own transfer table. Alright, so a transfer table is really a crucial tool when you're really trying to transfer from a community college to a university, right? You want to map out the timeline and the courses that you're going to take during your time in community college or junior college in order to transfer to the university that you want to get into. Now, you might be at the start of, or maybe at some point in your experience in community college, you might feel a bit overwhelmed, and that's okay. This transfer table is really there to give you a roadmap of how to get to transferring, right? Now, this will be just a high-level video, but it will be a good start to understand, right? And so here I have just a spreadsheet opened up in Google Docs, but you can use whatever you like. You can use Excel, you can use Numbers and Mac, and you can just take out a good old piece of paper and just draw some lines and use that. And so the concept is the most important. So we want to list out all the courses that we're going to need to transfer to whatever university that we are targeting, and if you know your major, even better, what major you want to apply for at that university. So let's get started. So here I have on the first row here, I have, let's say, we're assuming this is a 2-year timeline you want to do, but you can do 3-year, 4-year, however much time you need, whatever works for you. So generally you have fall and spring being the major semesters. If your community college is on a semester system, and then the winter and summer intersessions will be shorter, maybe 10 weeks or something like that, 6 to 10 weeks, something like that, but very condensed courses. So those will go a lot faster. You take less courses during those sessions. And so let's say that we're going to start in the fall of 2026. And so what you want to do is you want to understand all the courses you need to take to transfer. And to do that, you go to the university website that you want to transfer to, or the university's plural websites that you want to go to. Maybe you're applying to, it's a good idea to apply to multiple universities. And so go to their website. They'll have something about transfers for transfer students, the courses that you need to take. And that involves two different kinds of courses. One is the general education courses that you need to take, right? This is something that anyone transferring to that university will need to take. And then you have major specific courses that you'll need to take in order to transfer to that university based on your target major. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video, go to those university websites, look for the transfer requirements, the courses that you'll need to take, look for specifically the major courses as well, and when you have that, go ahead and come back. Alright, so if you have those courses, go ahead and list them underneath this column, required courses. And so what you want to do is go ahead and put them here. This is just an example here. I've listed some courses. So a lot of times, say you are targeting awesome university, and you want to major in biology. Okay? Now, let's say I went to that awesome university's website and I gathered, here are some of the required courses I need to take. So what we want to do is, if fall is going to be your first semester at the community college, I highly recommend you err on the side of caution, right? Not only are we going to be getting used to just taking classes for the first time at this community college. It's all about the environment, right? Maybe it's a new location that you're not familiar with the area. Maybe it's a new commute and that's you're not used to that. Maybe there's just a whole lifestyle change, right? So just give yourself some breathing room here, right? And so generally that's between 3 and 4 classes in my experience. So let's say we'll do biology 1. We'll take, let's say we'll get started on chemistry 1, and we'll do psychology 1. Now, here are a few things I want to note. Something to keep in mind. Number 1, remember that, especially for the more advanced classes, or I should say, like, let's say you have chemistry, it goes chemistry 1, 2, and maybe even 3. Especially for the higher classes in the sequence, oftentimes the community college might not offer that in all the semesters and quarters. So you have to keep that in mind. Maybe they only offer chemistry 2 in the spring, right? So keep that in mind when you're planning. Another thing is you have to consider that oftentimes there are a lot of students trying to get into the course. So you either one might not get the course during that semester, or number 2, it might be at a less than ideal time, right? Let's say it's at 7 a.m. in the morning and you're not really a morning person. These are things to think about. Another thing is, if it is a sequence, especially if it's maybe a 3 sequence class, maybe it's chem, I'll go ahead and do that. Maybe it's chem 1, 2, and 3, right? Let me add one of those here, chem 3. And you have to take all 3 of these courses in order to do that. So what you want to keep in mind as well is you want to get started on those as early as possible, right? Just so that you don't accidentally run out of time. Because if you started your chemistry courses all the way here, well, then that leaves you very little breathing room. That means you have to get it in the fall, in the winter, and that's going to be an accelerated course, and in the spring. So we want to make sure we get started on that as early as possible, or in case we have to withdraw from that class or something happens, right? Something like that. So that's something good to keep in mind. Also think about the professors. If you heard, this professor is extremely good and is great for your learning style, you might consider holding off until they are teaching that course, if it's a really intensive course. Things like that. These are all things to consider. Getting back into it, so let's say we have that, and then in the winter, again, these are condensed winter and summer, especially on the semester system. These are intersessions that are a lot shorter, so you want to not overwhelm yourself. So let's just take an easy course. Let's say you can take some elective course that is just let's say there's PE, right? All right, physical education. Let's say we'll just do that here, right? PE, and get that out of the way. It's real simple, not too stressful. You can also kind of enjoy your winter break, right? These intersessions, winter and summer, are generally, that's when you have winter break, a summer break. But if you're taking courses, then you don't really have very much of a break, okay? But it just depends on your timeline, right? If you feel like that you really can't do it, it is better to just extend that out. I know oftentimes people feel like I gotta go, but if the best way to learn is to extend that out, right? Extend your timeline to 3 years, 4 years, do what works for you. Another consideration is try to take as many courses that you can that will be applicable to the university that you'll be transferring to while you're at community college. The reason being is community college courses are a lot more affordable than when you get to the the university. And so if you have to take an extra year, right, in your total time span, being community college and university combined, let's say you have to do in 5 years, it is better to do 3 years at community college than to do 3 years at the university, just because an extra year at the university could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, right? Whereas at the community college, it's much more affordable. So just keep that in mind. Getting back to it, in the spring, let's say we've taken Bio 1, Chem 1, and Psych 1, so we'll get to Chem 2, we'll get to Bio 2, and it's pretty good to have them in consecutive, like Bio 1, I'm taking that in fall, in the spring I take Bio 2. Otherwise, if I waited all the way until fall 27, then I probably would have forgotten a lot, and it's just more work on the back end, right? But again, not the end of the world, just some things to balance as you're going through with this. And let's say I take History 1 here, and because I feel, I've gotten into the rhythm, I kind of understand how things go, I can take 4 classes, right? And different classes will have different unit amounts. Something I've heard is for every unit, right? Let's say history is 3 units. I've heard that for every hour of class time, lecture time, expect to spend twice that outside of class on homework, right? So if I take also Physics 1, if these are all 3 units, right, and that's 4 classes, that's 12 units, then I should expect to take 24 hours outside of class, just on studying, right? So it's really like a full-time job. So you also got to consider your commitments, extracurricular commitments as well. And especially a lot of the science classes, the STEM classes, I find in my experience, are usually have more units, so that just requires more time, right? And so you would go about filling out this transfer table, so on and so forth, as I've outlined in these semesters. Just continue doing that, and once you've done that, you'll be well on your way. You'll have a roadmap in front of you, and don't worry if this changes. Expect it to change, right? Things happen. Maybe you can't get this class. Maybe you change majors throughout, and that's totally fine. But it gives you the peace of mind that you can know, at least I have a roadmap, right? And I can adjust from there. So hope this helps, and good luck.